Hello, good morning everybody. Ziggy. Coffee. Yeah. So I just watched a little video, well not so little actually, by Onion Child, and it inspired me. Thank you. Because what they talk about, like pregnant women, yes, don't get me started. It's just little kids in general. These little snotty-nosed, often quite hideous little brats. So you go to the supermarket, right, and you're in full throttle awakening, so you see and you know that you're in the fucking Truman Show, because it is like that. It's either that or we're in Legoland. Oh, it's all gone. Anyway, so there you are. In this case, Sainsbury's, which we have here, is owned by a guy called Lord Sainsbury's, and he's a total twat, and he sits in the House of Lords. The House of Lords in England gets to decide for or against any laws that the government wants to make. You know, like, I don't know, they want to bring out a law where the Tory party can go around anybody's house, anytime, anywhere, and rape their children. And then that goes into the House of Lords, and they will say something like, well, we'd love to allow you to do that, but we better not, because it will alert the public to the fact we're already doing that, so shh. Something like that. Anyway, kids. So this is ages ago actually, but I see it all the time. So there's this woman walking through the aisle with this shopping trolley full of absolute shit. You know, you look in, I do anyway, I look in people's trolleys and I see what they eat and I think, oh, I'm not surprised you're so fucked up. You know, but anyway, so and there's this kid there with this phone with obviously a video game on it, and he's playing it, and he's like, I don't know, 1 year old, well, a bit older than that, but I mean, you wonder how he manages to do that, and he's like, and subsequently also, whilst he's playing it with one and grabbing shit off the shelf, and the mother is there looking really, really stressed. Oh, Jimmy, please don't, I'm so stressed out, please behave yourself, and he's like, fuck you, you know, seriously. The language that was coming out of this kid's mouth was just like, wow, he was giving me a run for my money. I thought, now there's a perfect candidate for Prime Minister. Give him 5 years. You come across these people that they're always reproducing, and they're these eco people, the yummy mummies. They always go on about the environment, and I always go to the farm shop to buy their organic Brussels sprouts and their organic meat. You're eating meat, mate. You know, wake up. Do you have any idea what goes into that? The suffering, the misery. But no, I don't want to know that. They always drive these SUVs for some reason, and they're always reproducing, and they all look like hippies, but they're not really hippies, you know, because being a hippie back in the day, well, it certainly wasn't about that, you know, it wasn't. It was about espousing an anti-authoritarian type lifestyle, and you lived in a fucking bus, or if you did live in a house or something, you shared it with other people, you did creative shit, you know, you dressed that way because you were making a kind of statement. You weren't well off and flaunting your wealth and having these really horrible snotty-nosed kids going to the farm shop being really just fucking obnoxious and demanding and very entitled. You know, they're always very entitled. They feel entitled, and they believe they read the Guardian or the Independent. you know, and they yeah, they just believe everything they're told, and they vote for the Green Party, which never wins, but you know, and they're just like stereotypes. This world, right, people, is full of stereotypes. It's a bit of a ramble this morning. They're all stereotypes. Have you ever noticed that? The virtual people are stereotypical. That's it. And you get these new stereotypes emerging according to what is going on energetically in this world. So people are awakening more and more and more. Not all, of course, only those with souls, but... And so that there is a reaction to that awakening. More stereotypes that almost seem... almost like you think, oh, is this person awake? Is this person... Yeah. Because they said this and they do that, and oh yeah, this is good. But then, you know, you scratch the surface and you realise, no, it's just another stereotype. Whew, wow. It's very glib and it's very slick and it's very insidious and it's very clever, you know. It just gives you these types to make you think that, I don't know. Because truly raw, awakening people don't behave that way. No. They're generally fucking miserable and depressed. And they're wandering around, you know, picking their nose thinking, I hate this place, I hate this place, I hate this place, and I don't like you either. And I don't like your snotty-nosed kids. And then you get to the subject of kids. Well, you know, you don't really have kids anymore. You know, you just have miniature grown-ups with full-blown pathologies, psychosis, narcissism, whatever, you know, they're all fucking around the bend. The kids are just... They're not kids. They're not kids. They have play dates. Back in the day when I was a kid, you just played. You didn't have to set a fucking time and a place that the yummy mummies had arranged. Oh, shall little Jemmy and little Emma have a play date? Yes, oh, isn't it marvellous? And we'll just sit in the background and, you know, drink alcohol and, I don't know, take crack. You never used to get that. The kids were there. You were just there, so you'd go out and you'd play. In my case, it was playing meant shoving firecrackers through people's mailboxes, taking washing off the line and putting it on somebody else's line and taking their washing out and putting it on that line. It meant phoning people, going through the phone book and looking for people with silly names and then call them up. All kinds, you know, and it was great fun. I suppose you might deduce from this that I was a little bit of an evil little fucker. And I suppose I was, actually, you know. I wasn't really that nice as a kid. But at least I was interesting. I think I was like that because I was rebelling against the constant religious programming that was being shoved down my neck on a daily fucking basis. And I was actually being told on a daily basis that I was possessed and that I was evil. And that I was, you know, just like your father, you're just like your father. And yes, my father wasn't a great person, but at least he was interesting and he was really psychic and he had abilities. And my grandfather, his father, had abilities. He could move tables around the room and read people's minds and whatnot. So they were Satan, because you're not allowed to have abilities. No, you're just supposed to be really weak and really stupid and really mundane, and that's when God loves you. God doesn't love special people. God doesn't love intelligent, bright, creative, willful people. God doesn't like that. Can't have that. Anyway. Yeah, these kids, they have play dates. And they wear high heels. I've noticed this more and more, how little children, little girls now wear high heels and makeup and fucking false eyelashes and risque outfits. Do you know what I mean? Next thing you know, they'll have boob jobs and, I don't know, many fucking facelifts and Botox. For all I know, they probably already do. It's mad. Absolutely mad. They're no longer kids, people. They're no longer kids. They're consumers now. That's what they are. They're consumers, you know. And they know everything about consuming and the consumer culture. So it's like, oh, I love Taylor Swift when they're 5 years old. Oh, I love Taylor Swift and I love Beyonce and I know all the dance moves. And they play these video games for kids that are just inherently really just nasty and toxic and mind-bending. Yeah, it's scary. It's the whole queen bee movement as well. It's like, well, I'm really pretty and you're really ugly, so I'm just going to bully the fuck out of you until you kill yourself. I mean, where did that idea of beauty come from anyway? Where did that come from? You know, there's a really great book called The Beauty Myth, which is about how, I mean, if you go back, like you look at paintings from sort of like the times of Henry VIII, not that many survive, but you look at these people in the paintings and you think, wow, they all look like they've got Down syndrome, don't they? Maybe they did. I don't know. People were fucking ugly, man. And what is considered beautiful nowadays is not really beautiful at all. I've met people in my life that at first sight, on first acquaintance, didn't fit the picture of beauty, you know, like the sort of like the square jawline and everything in perfect symmetry, but they had such fire in their bellies and they were so creative and they were just so funky people that they just really grew on me. And they were beautiful people, you know. But it's all about how you look. It's all of this world is all about what it looks like. It's not about content at all. It's always about the facade. And kids are indoctrinated into that, man. They really are. When I was 5, 6, 7, 8, I wasn't into popular music. I didn't know a damn thing about any of that. I didn't care about fashion. You know? I was sat around tables with the few little friends I had, and we were all a bit funky and we were all a bit wonky and we were all being bullied, but I can see now, looking back, that we had a great deal of je ne sais quoi, you know, we had it going, we were quite smart and we just used to laugh a lot, you know, we used to go out into nature a lot and yeah, do very naughty things as well, but we were very alive and we had a great imagination and we had fantasies and we had abilities and we were so alive. So alive. Kids nowadays are not alive, man. Their imagination is totally and utterly eviscerated because they're not given any space to invent and to be creative in, because it's all given to them, you know? They have so many toys that they're like fucking hoarders. You know, you go into their bedroom and it's like, well, you've got to move sideways to get, and then you've got to go that way because there's toys everywhere. It's like that fat kid from Harry Potter. Remember his cousin? It's like that. Where's my 40th present? You know, that sort of shit. It's utterly mad. I mean, I used to have Barbie dolls, and I was never really that much into dolls, actually, but they used to give me Barbie dolls, and I used to turn them into punks. I used to get like nail varnish, blue and green nail varnish, which you could get then, and I would paint their hair, and I would cut it, and I would give them like Mohicans, and I would stick like pins in their faces and shit like that, and I'd draw tattoos on them. So, you know, my mother was utterly shocked by that. It was like, oh my God, she's a child of Satan. In the name of Jesus. Yo, what? Man, oh man. You know, and I used to have a diary in which I wrote the stories of all my exploits. And I thought it was very well hidden, but of course my mother, wow, my mother should have been a detective, man. She was very good at ferrying out nefarious doings. She was very good at it. And of course, there was I mean, I smoked my first spliff when I was 11 years old. I started smoking when I was 11, which is why my lungs are so healthy. Like I said. And all that was in there, you know. And then one day my mother found it, and whew, wow, man, oh man, it was like the apocalypse is here, yeah. It was a wild childhood, even though I was under such terrible duress. Every time, every day, every minute of the day, it was like I knew this world was all fucked up. I didn't know it as I know it now, but I knew it, you know. And I just bounced off people, I really did. I bounced off other kids, I bounced off people, I bounced off the church, because I was taken to church, of course, every Sunday, and I was taken on every Wednesday for Bible study, studying the fake King James fucking Bible, which is just a fucking disgusting hijack of the actual Bible. But anyway, and it was like I could feel the energy change in the room the minute I entered it, because everybody was aware that I was there, and people somehow just knew that I was not of them. I did not fit, I did not belong, and I've had this feeling my entire life, even back in the day when I was living in London, and I was a real mess, there's no doubt about it. I was a terrible mess and whatnot, and I was taking a shitload of drugs. In fact, most of the time I was like a walking chemistry set. But you know, I bounced off people. They just knew I was different. And most of those people that I used to hang out with back then, and we're talking 25, 30 years ago, are still exactly the same. They still go to that club, which is called the Slime Light, where they used to play all these types of music, you know, like Ministry. Do you remember Ministry? Any of you? Oh man. And all this type of stuff, you know, and it was a disgusting, dirty place. The walls really were slimy. I mean, at the end of the night, actually it was early in the morning, around about 5 o'clock, they would switch the lights on, and it was like, time to go guys, time to go. And you'd taken so many drugs that you could barely remember your name or who you were or like where you lived. So getting home was always a bit of an issue. Alright, your makeup, which looked so fantastic when you walked in, was sort of like down here somewhere. I mean, you looked grotesque. You looked a bit like the Joker from fucking Batman. And you know, you'd go back home to your squat or wherever it was that you laid your weary head at any given time, you know. And oh man, you know, there used to be this guy called Tiny, but he was really big, he was massive, and he had all the good drugs. Man, oh man, those were the days. Not really, they weren't. But even then I felt like I was moving through the world, but I wasn't of it. And I've always had that feeling. Now, I realise that that feeling was very apt and very true. And I've stopped fucking myself up with drugs or alcohol. I don't drink, I don't take drugs. I gave up smoking, but I'm doing that again, but I will give it up again. And it just makes me realise that, yes, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, there was still a lot of creativity going on. It was crazy, and a lot of it was contrived, but at the same time, I wasn't contrived, and a lot of people around me were not contrived. Some of those people would be very awake now. The rest of them will still be doing the same stuff. Yeah, that club is still there, they still go there. Wow. But what you get now, young people have no longer any recourse to really good music. Yes, they can hark back to the 70s, the 80s and 90s, but most of them don't. Most of them don't. They just... wow. I think young people now are very bored and they're very frustrated because there's nothing for them anywhere. There really just isn't, you know. They have nowhere to go and nothing to do. It's and they're all very conformist. They don't sort of wear different outfits to express themselves. Like, by that I mean creative. You know, we used to get people doing their makeup really funkily and wear weird clothes. You don't get that anymore, but what you do get is this fucking hijack shit going on where in the 70s and the 80s, if you had blue hair, I mean, everybody thought you were a fucking social pariah. Now you get fucking grannies with blue hair and purple hair, and punk is cool all of a sudden. And like I said before, yeah, it was contrived. Punk was contrived, you know, Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood. But a lot of people that went into it, for them, it was a means of expression. And they played around with it. You know, Susie and the Banshees and, ooh, cool and funky and The Cure. And yes, there was contrivance going on there, but at the same time, we used it and then did something else with it, whereas you don't get that anymore, you know. True creativity is really, really just dying. And kids, well, you just see it. You see them just having no input, no kind of, no inspiration, no creativity. Everything is really dull. And whatever impulses they have to be different and to express that it's like, it's fun. Oh, over here, come over here. So, oh yeah, this is it. This is where it's at if you want to be different. But it inevitably isn't. So they just get funneled into these particular areas where they're then locked in. It's difficult to explain. And it shouldn't really be, but it is. So to be a kid nowadays is really hard going. And I, for one, do not understand why people are even having kids. I never wanted any kids. I mean, you know, people get really excited about having a baby and they take pictures, and I had a friend who was just completely obsessed with it. Had 2 kids. Oh, my baby, here. And I was like, yeah, thanks. There you go. Just hand them straight back. I don't know what to do with a baby. It's like, yeah, you look cute and all, but hey, go. I prefer animals. I love my pussycats. And they don't wear diapers, which is really convenient. I never felt like having kids. I always knew that was just like sort of criminal, almost, really. But yeah, and I came across this woman. She already had 5 kids. Whoa. Ringing in the ears, guys. Do you get it? Wow, man. Like, whoa. Anyway, and it was like, she already had 5 kids. And I was like, oh, I just love being pregnant and I love having babies. And I thought, oh, and I so love the fact that I can clearly see you're a total OP and all your kids are OPs, because, again, it was like Village of the Damned. I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they all had blonde hair and they all had the same dazed and confused look in her eye, you know. But she was one of the yummy mummies, you know, the eco mummies. I don't know, man. Then you get these weird books. I've noticed that as well. It's like, oh, the joys of old age. The joys of old age. Weird. Some woman called Professor Buttwipe or something or other. The joys of old age. How wonderful it is when you get dementia, because at least then you no longer realise the world is absolutely shit. And you can just sit there and watch fucking soap operas in a chair in the fucking nursing home and shit yourself. Because people, growing old does not give us wisdom. Most people are here for, I don't know what, 70 years if they're lucky. And they never change anyway, and they never learn a damn thing. In fact, if anything, their shitty mentality and consciousness just becomes more and more ingrained. They become shittier, not wiser. They become dumber and more ignorant. It's incredible. you know, with that green hair. It's madness. It really is. It's all fucking insane. So no, don't have any children. It's a bad idea. You'll just end up living with a 5-year-old version of a 42-year-old bitter divorcee or something, you know. Or like a 6-year-old carbon cutout of Kim Kardashian. Mummy? Yes, darling. I want a boob job. I'm sorry, darling, I haven't got the money for that right now, okay? We've got to go and do the shopping. Mummy? Yes, darling. I want some Valium. Mummy? It's mad. It is a mad world, people. Here's the thing. Lately, it's as if something is telling me that, yes, the more you awake and see it and feel it, and the more it is like you're speechless with the insanity of it all, the closer you are to breakthrough. It is an inevitable part of this journey, I feel, you know. It's gotten so crazy now, where you have these transvestites doing story time, and that's all good, and there's fucking politicians saying that pedophilia is perfectly natural and healthy, and that's all good, but you have a YouTube channel and you have to jump through all these hoops to make sure that your videos are not made for kids. Hence, I've put age restrictions on all my videos because, yeah, I do swear a lot. I do cover topics that probably really wouldn't appeal to most young people nowadays because they're too busy fucking, I don't know, conforming, whatever. I wouldn't really want kids to watch my videos. It's not really for kids, and so that's fine, and I'm doing that. But it's all hypocrisy. It really is, because the truth is that the system, the beast, actually actively despises children and sees them merely as a resource to be devoured. That's it. So kids are just used. They're used by the fashion industry, they're used by the music industry, they're used by the food industry, they're used by everything and everyone. And their parents think it's wonderful. I mean, you go out there and you look at what kids wear. It's all these Spider-Man t-shirts and Spider-Man. They're just like walking billboards. Yes, that's what children are. They're like walking billboards because they've got advertising plastered all over them now, you know. It's mad. It's crazy, people. It's crazy. It is true also that, again, that's what Derek and Alexa was saying. And this is weird because this is what's been going on here. 20 years ago, right, Plymouth, where I live, was quiet. There wasn't a lot of traffic. It wasn't a big place. There was nature everywhere and it was alright. Especially after London, it was like, wow, breath of fresh air. It's true, I did arrive here with dreads and shitloads of makeup and these massive platform boots, and I was walking down the road and everybody was going, what? Like that. They were. And then I thought, well, I'm just gonna not wear those types of things anymore, because actually I was quite tired of it anyway, and I just realised that it was all externalism. I didn't really need it. So I just started wearing, you know, no makeup at all, which felt very freeing, and just a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and I've done that ever since, and it's been good. I like it. But now, all of a sudden, this happened about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. All of a sudden, there's people everywhere. You think, where are these people coming from? There's loads of them. Whereas before it was like, well, there aren't any jobs in Plymouth. There's really very little infrastructure. There's no jobs. So people are leaving Plymouth to go to the bigger cities to have a life. And now all of a sudden there's big corporate stores everywhere. They're building everywhere these big like Wren kitchens and places where they sell shitty furniture and things like that, you know, everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And houses are being built, I mean, everywhere, right? Roads are being built everywhere, cutting off greenery, green places where animals live, and they now have to cross these busy roads and they're getting killed left, right and centre. Nobody cares. There's cars everywhere, there's traffic jams everywhere, and there's people everywhere. And a lot of them do really look the same. You get this particular type that I've been noticing. It's like they wear slacks. They always wear slacks, and they wear these shirts tucked into their slacks, and they have these pointy shoes and these quiffs. You know, like they're fucking Tintin. Everywhere. They all look the same. They're all carbon cutout stereotype people. It's mad. It's like yesterday, and we were queuing, and my bones were aching and aching and aching, man. It was like, whoa, I really felt, I have been feeling like, I'm sure I'm dying. I'm sure I've got cancer or something, because I have been feeling just appalling, really bad. But there we are. Because I decided to, you know, my friend helps me out with shopping, but I thought I'll go with you, because he hadn't had a good night's sleep. He's really tired. He's going through the same thing I'm going through. I was standing there, there's shitloads of people queuing up for the self-checkout. There's this woman in front, wearing these funky boots. And me, I don't know why, I should just not bother anymore really, to be honest, but I do. I like to engage with people, I like to test the water, as it were. And so I said to her, oh, those are funky boots. Well, man, oh man, she turned around and she gave me this look, and it gave me the creeps, quite frankly. That woman, there was something very wrong there. It was just not right at all. Well, somebody gave them to me, huh? But it was that lizard stare, that reptilian thing, man. You know, I've come across it before, and it was like, no, this is all wrong. It's like, and you get some beleaguered looking self-service checkout person that has to make sure that everything functions, and invariably those machines, they never function. And there's a tiny person that lives in these machines that sounds like the Queen, and please rescan, you know, and whatnot. Oh, it's like, wow, it's mad. And they're just all like automatons, and checking out and standing around waiting for this beleaguered looking woman to come and press a few buttons so the machine works again, so they can carry out checking out all their crappy, horrible food. Because honestly, right, most things in supermarkets, you couldn't call them food with the best will in the world, yet people continue to consume that shit. Madness, madness. I was going to get to a point, but it's just one of these rambles, you know. And I didn't really feel inspired by Onion Child's last video. For any of you newbies, go and check out this channel, Onion Child, as in an onion child. You'll like it. It's funny, it's funky, it's good. Just real people talking about what they feel, and it's good. So go and check that out. It's definitely true that this world is resetting possibly as a reaction to an upsurge of consciousness cleansing. And it's like, oh, can't have that, put this shit in there, put that shit in there. But you see, I always find that the more evil, as it were, does that, in whichever way that it does that, the more we, awakening souls, are healed. And I know that's like a paradox, isn't it? But it's true, I have found, because shit happens, right? You look at it, you know, and also where I live, it's like people everywhere, man, everywhere. Because that's how it is in England, right? You live on top of each other. Everybody lives in their own little box, or their own little house, with a tiny little patch of garden, which is theirs. And you so much look at their little ridiculous garden with that fucking garden gnome. They get really hostile and possessive. This is mine, don't look at it, it's mad. But anyway, that's what you get in England, you know. It's a very small-minded mentality in England. People are very, well, it's very Truman Show. This is my house and this is my dog, and it's always a cockadoodle or a fucking chihuahua or something ridiculous, you know, these dogs that everybody now has. It's like, oh, could I have a cockadoodle? Could I have a cockadoodle? Oh, this is my cockadoodle. This is my Swings. I came up with that idea, right? Cats with no fur. What? And they don't really love their animals, you know. Those animals are just an extension of their fake persona. It's like, look, this is who I am. Anyway. The more we are triggered, it triggers our shadow, it triggers our fake ego, our sort of own insanity, and it comes up and it comes up and it comes up. So rage, actually, Alexa, is very natural. It's a very natural feeling, and it means you're healing. All these emotions that are coming up, these dark emotions that you've been programmed you do not have a right to feel. You're programmed to think that you shouldn't feel these feelings, because if you offhand reject those emotions and those nuances of your true self, right, then you repress, and you won't heal, you'll stagnate. But if you allow these external triggers to bring it up, as it will, and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Yeah, this is how I feel. I feel fucking rage and actual hatred, and I'm just gonna sit there with these feelings because I have every reason to feel those feelings, because I am living in an insane asylum and I'm noticing all this weirdness, and I'm confused and I feel lost and I feel in so much pain that it's beyond endurance, yet I am here enduring it. And my body is fucking feeling like shit. My mental health is like way below zero. And then I get all these spiritual people, the eco mummies, telling me that that's all wrong. I must be on the wrong path, because if you're on the right path, you're always happy and you're peaceful and you're in great health and you look great and everything is great. Well, that isn't true awakening at all. But when you get that onslaught coming at you all the time, then you're going to start doubting yourself, because major self-doubt is very much a tactic that the dark side uses against us. It tells us, oh, see, look at the state you're in. You're getting it all wrong. Look at the state you're in. You're a total failure. You're getting it all wrong. Don't bother doing a video. You start feeling a bit weird before you do a video and stuff, you know. Don't do a video because it's all shit. Don't bother. It's all of that, you see. That means you're on the right path. It really does. The more you get of that, the more you're on the right path. It's the anti-force, you see. I mean, there is no way that you're gonna, if you're true, real, souled awakening, that you're gonna feel good or happy in this fucking world. No way, that's not gonna happen. I'm not saying that we should just feel miserable all the time. No, I think we should seek out that which nourishes our soul. But the fact is that a lot of us are feeling so bloody horrendous, physically and mentally, so bloody hard going, that it's very difficult to do. And so my answer is this: keep it simple, people. Just keep it simple, right? Don't be taken in by this rubbish that you have to be this and that. You don't. It's not about that. It's not about being ambitious. It's not about achievement. It's not about looking good. We want to look good because looking good means you're accepted. You see? It's that attachment thing again. But when you don't feel good and you don't look good, consequently, you feel as if the world is even harsher, because people look at you and go, oh, you look like shit, don't want to know you, right? All that. But fuck it. Those are true, those that are true will be with you, because they're going through it as well, so they get it, and it doesn't matter. It's not about looking good. It's not even about feeling good, because when you're on the true path, that all falls by the wayside, people. All these external fucking things that we used to do. You know, like, why wear makeup? What for? Why do we wear makeup? Why do we wear high heels? Why do we have to dress up? Why do we... There's so many things that we used to do that we no longer do, because we realise it was all fake. It was all a program. This is what you do to be socially acceptable and to have friends, and, oh, you know, we go out together and we do this and we do that, and it's all so nice and wonderful. Well, it isn't. Any of it. It's bullshit. So it all leaves your life, and so much leaves our life. You end up thinking, fuck. It's not easy at all. No, it's not. And, you know, I remember when that fucking book came out, you know, The Secret. I knew straight away it was a load of bullshit. It was in all the libraries, it was on all the bookshelves, and all these people that I knew had read the book or were reading it, and they all agreed with it, and they all thought it was great, great, wonderful, amazing. I knew straight away, you know, you're full of shit, and you're not going to manifest anything in that state, anything good. And it's not about getting that sports car and be the envy of all your neighbours, and it's not about fucking having loads of money or anything. It's nice to have money. It's nice to be financially secure. A lot of us don't have that either. Because everything that will trigger our inner insanity, our inner conformity, right? All of that will be taken away. All our crutches will be taken away. They will be taken away. Yes, it's the only way, you see, to wake up to the fact that none of that's real. You cannot continue to play that game. So Spirit, as it were, says, right, I'm taking that away, and I'm taking that away, and I'm taking that away, and it seems really, really cruel. It seems like, oh, you're being tortured and tormented. But it's not about that, I don't think. It's about showing you that you've been running on a script, and that none of that's real. That's not what it's about. It's not about continuing to think and pretend that everything is just great, and that if you're happy all the time, and you're manifesting money, and you're manifesting the sports car, and you're manifesting the perfect job. They do that a lot. It's like, oh no, my career, and I got the perfect job. And it's like, well, I don't even want a job, thank you very much. Why should I work for a living? Not that even if I wanted to, I could now anyway, or would, but because I'm not well enough, but that's not the point. Make money your own way, you know, stand on your own 2 feet, do something creative, and do that at the very least. You know, don't work for other people. Don't be a slave. I don't believe, you know, in sitting around doing absolutely nothing. I don't believe in that. I do believe in contributing to this world in the most positive way that you can contribute to it. I do believe in that. But when you find yourself in the proverbial doldrums with regards to mental health and physical health, then you can't even do that, because you're at such a level of awakening that Kansas will be going bye-bye. And I think we are ambitious. That's just it. I think we're very ambitious because we realise this is a fucking nightmare and it has to go boom. It's not about maintaining it or even making it a little bit better. It's not about that. It's about realising that it's all wrong. All of it is wrong. That in this world that is pure and good and true, we can take and safeguard in some way. Everything else is just going to have to go boom. Gone. That's it. Because none of it is any good. That is what awakening is. It's not about maintaining. It's not about finding a slightly better you in a fucked up world. None of that will work. And so everything that we've relied upon for a semblance of security and a semblance of self-worth and belonging is taken away to the degree that you're literally left with ugh, because that is what exposes your shadow. It exposes your addiction. It exposes your neediness. It says, you know what, that is keeping you trapped. That's keeping you enslaved to the system. None of this is real. It's all going to go. It's all going to blow one way or another. I really do believe that. So be true. Be authentic. And you'll find that even though shit happens, right, and it's taken away, people leave your life, and stuff that you were doing to fit in, to belong, that you thought was good, that you thought helped you, that fed you, is taken away, and it's like, whoa, and I now feel really empty, and I don't know where to go, and who to go, and what to do. And you feel like that, and you feel like you're lost in the woods in the dark. But that's when you find your true self. That's when your true self comes in and goes, right, now that you perceive yourself to have absolutely nothing left, let's get to the true essence of your being. Who are you when nothing is left? Who are you? You're a bright star shining out light in this dark hinterland. That's what you've got left. Everything else is superfluous, and it's fake, and it isn't real. You see? We don't belong, so I try to belong. We don't agree, so I try to agree. We're in the world, but we're not of this world. We never were. We're not of this world at all, so why pretend and do things that temporarily give us a sense of inclusiveness or belonging? We don't belong, and we're not really included. We are, in a sense, because we're here, and you know, you have to do the shopping and the cleaning, and oh boy, Groundhog Day shit, yeah, you have to do that. It sucks. But I think ultimately we're here to press that button and blow this shit up. Maybe it's a case of cleaning up your consciousness, allowing it to be cleaned up to such a degree that the veils of this illusion part, and gradually, by the new world, the true world, opens up. And you can enter it like going through the eye of a needle. You know, Jesus did say that it's harder for a rich man to enter heaven than it is for a camel to go through the eye of the needle, or something like that. It's true. What do you think a rich man is? Look at the world around you. What does it care about? What are the values of this world? And do you think people like that can enter the realm of heaven, the true world? No, of course they can't. You can't take anything with you. So everything that is superfluous, everything you thought was giving you, you know, strength, power, belonging, inclusivity, whatever, it's all taken away. And you know, that's what hurts so much, because your fake persona is screaming out in agony, but everything is literally being stripped away, people. Everything is being stripped away, and it's like paint stripper. It fucking hurts, right? It fucking hurts. And we are on the true path, because we know this, because our gnosis is growing exponentially. Because despite all the insanity, we have more compassion and we have more wisdom. We know when to leave well alone. Compassion does that, you know, it has discernment. It says, no, not doing that. No, not going there. No, don't need that. Keep it simple. It's always been, for me, the best way to navigate is to keep it very, very simple. And to find a place of surrender within this. I don't mean surrender as in giving up, but I mean surrender as in recognizing that that which must leave will leave. And that our bodies, I feel very important, because those of us with all these issues, so many fucking issues, our bodies, in a way, I think, maybe, are part of the fake reality. And so, if everything is diseased and twisted, this is what's happening to our body. It's that mass consciousness that's doing that. It's always a downward spiral of decay. Everything is always decaying, and it manifests like that. All the shit that's coming up within us, purging up and out, triggered by the external crap, it makes us ill as well. It manifests temporarily. And the more we are awake, and the deeper we go, and the more we get to the epicenter of our own being, and the more that shit comes up, and the darker it gets out there, and the more the shit we because of the darkness out there, we tap into more and more the darkness within us, and it comes up and out and up and out. We do feel really shitty, and we have headaches, and our body's hurt, and there's all kinds of health problems, and you go to the doctor, they don't have a fucking clue what's wrong with you, and the naturopath hasn't got a fucking clue, and nobody has a fucking clue. And then a problem comes up, and then it just disappears. And you think, wow. I think that our bodies are changing. Our consciousness is clearing up, and our bodies will be changing. Things will change. The veils will part. If none of this is real, then it is a case of diseased consciousness projecting, oh, this is how it is, this is how it is, and then the veils are lifting, and we see clearer and clearer and clearer, and we cleanse and cleanse and cleanse, and feel like shit, and feel like shit, and feel like shit. But it's all the poison within us. You know, it's not a case of, well, some of the poison leaves and then you start feeling better. It doesn't work that way, because, you see, then you would start feeling better, thereby you would then not be able to tap into the darkest recesses of your being, because you're feeling better, so you would stop doing that. The impetus would be gone, you see, so you would stop doing the work, you would stop clearing out. It has to go deeper and deeper and deeper. It has to go all the way to the beginning of it. And when you get to the beginning of it within yourself, it's really dark. Because that's where your insanity is at, and we are still insane. And the more we go in there, the more out there will get crazy as well. There is a correlation. But we're primed for this type of thing. That's why we're here. We are able to do that. We can do that. We are doing it. So keep it simple and bear with it. Even when you feel like absolute shit. Know that it's par for the course and that you are on the right path. And do not disown feelings that society has taught you are wrong. No, they're not wrong. They're natural. And so you feel them. You feel and 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 you feel. Let it all come up. And it gets to a point where it gets so crazy that you think it's going to destroy you. You think this is unprecedented. This is something I cannot go through. I cannot handle. I cannot feel. I know, because I had it last week. It was appalling. It was so bad. Oh boy, I felt like I was going completely insane. It's so anti-self. It's like, I hate you. All of this really crazy shit. That is the trauma. That is the trauma, the insane. It's like a child that's been so severely twisted and abused and gaslighted. The constant sabotage, the dark generator as well. There's all kinds of shit going on, people, so it's all par for the course. And I do believe that, well, it hits rock bottom, and then you have to come back up. But first you have to get to the very, very rock bottom of it. Not any darkness, not any poison can be left in the system. And so until we get to that point, the impetus, will be there. we haven't been destroyed, you know, we're still here. And we're connecting with each other. And yeah, well, got a bit of a ramble today. But yeah, people, so don't worry, you know, if you don't like kids and if you don't like the world around you and if you feel like shit and things are leaving your life and you feel like you're left with nothing, because that's where it's at, people. That's how you get to your true self. That's what it's all about. You can no longer pretend. See, because everybody in this world is broken. They've all got crutches and Zimmer frames and they're all like twisted and fucked up, but they can't see that. And they keep doing stuff in order to fit in and to belong. Oh, we all like this and we all like Game of Thrones and oh, Jon Snow, isn't he sexy and all this crap, you know what I mean, right? And oh, you wear makeup and you wear high heels and you do this and you go there and whoo, and you play the game because life is whoo. And all that leaves your life and your health fails and it's all going to pot. It's meant to. It's meant to go to pot. How can it be any other way, right? It can't be any other way, people. The illusion has to be destroyed completely. And our bodies are piggy in the middle with that. That's just how it is. We all get a palpable sense of shit really hitting the fan. Fan, as in, you know. And it does make you feel afraid. You think, oh my God, is it going to destroy me? Am I going to be able to survive this? I feel suicidal every day, you know. I just feel like I do all the time. And it's the self-doubt, isn't it? The self-doubt's the worst of it. It's like, no, you're getting it all wrong. You're getting it all wrong. Look at you. You're such a broken down mess. That must mean you're getting it all wrong. Don't listen to your intuition, which is there telling you, it's meaningful, it's meaningful, it's meaningful. Yes, it is. It's going to be all right. Stay the course, sir. So yeah, we have to just listen to that. Keep listening to your intuition. Keep doing that, people. And feel those feelings because they're natural. Come on. Look what we're living in. Of course it's natural. It's when all that shit is sitting in your subconscious and you're not aware of it, that's when it creates havoc. But when it comes up and you allow yourself to feel it, you acknowledge it, and you have compassion for yourself, compassion for your wounded self, that's when it's being alchemized and healed. You see? Everything we need will come to us. That, I know, it's amazing. It's always happened for me. I went through loads of shit, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's all been wonderful and easy and flowers and whatever, birdies. I've had to go through a series of very intense catalysts that have really shown me the nature of it all, that have definitely impacted my mental health and my physical health in a terrible way. And yet, that which I need comes to me. And that which comes to me, that which I need, is always pure and it's good and it nourishes my soul. And it tells me over and over again that no, you've not been abandoned, you're not lost. But everything that is of the fake illusion has to be destroyed. And you have to go all the way to the densest darkness within yourself. You have to go all the way to the bottom to clear it up there. That has to happen. That's just the way it is, people, you know. It's not about being happy, because whatever goes for happy in this world isn't really happy. It's a state of slavery, right? So all that has to be destroyed. It's all about disentanglement. And maybe that is how we achieve reset. I don't know yet. We fly by the seat of our pants, people, at the end of the day. We do. That's what we do, okay? We were made for this. This is what we do. This is what we came here to do. So we can't give up and we can't give in to this darkness that constantly tells us, oh boy, that, we're getting it wrong and we're not on the right path and we should just be like the other spiritual people and be happy. And manifest money. Everything we need will come to us, one way or another. I do believe that. And things will reveal themselves to us. The true object of it all, the Holy Grail, as within, so without. And if we are creator beings, which I believe us to be, then we're here to do something very, very big. We're troubleshooters. We are troubleshooters in an epic, cosmic sense. Yeah. So anyway, I think I'll call it a day there, because I can just go on and on and on and on, and you know how that goes, right? Yeah. So yeah, people, let's just stick with it and just keep it really simple, right? Just keep it really simple and be really gentle with yourselves, because, wow. Yeah. Love yourselves, love one another, keep connecting with each other, Keep connecting and keep finding the pearls. Remember, there are pearls strewn throughout that show us the way. And keep trusting that this is all meaningful. It is okay. It's going to be alright. Really. I do believe that with all my being. And all the dissenting memes coming at us and the dark generator telling us that we're shit and we're worthless and we're powerless and we're all going to fail and evil's already won and blah blah blah. Because look at the world and look at the past and look at the here and now and look at your body and ooh, no. Death throes. It's all fucking dying and it needs to die. All of it needs to die. That which is pure and good and true is protected. It's sacred and it will survive. Everything else needs to be fucking destroyed, people. Alright? Toodaloo.